Hello, my name is Fame and welcome back to another YouTube video. In today's video, I'll be redesigning eddsworld characters. If you've never heard of eddsworld, it is a YouTube animated series that has been going on for a few years, going over the lives of 3 friends as well as 1 antagonist. I will be redesigning these 4 characters, but today, only for this video, I'll be redesigning Ed and Matt. For the next video, I'll be redesigning Tom and Tord. With that out the way, please keep in mind that these are my redesigns as well as my story. If you do not like it, that's okay, you don't have to like it. As I go through each character, I will be describing their personality as well as maybe clothing designs, facial feature wise, designs that I changed up. I will be going slightly in depth about the characters, so have fun if you like hearing me talk. That is so stupid. But let's get into the video. I'll start off by going over some headshot designs for the characters' faces, and then we'll get into the actual redesign process. So I want you to keep in mind that for these headshots right here, these were just ideas of how I wanted the characters to look. Just like a general idea, which did end up changing, especially for Ed and Matt, but not really Tom and Tord, which you will see in the part 2 video whenever I get a chance to do that. But before we get into the actual characters and the backstory, let's talk about what eddsworld is. Eddsworld is a YouTube animated series following the adventures of 4 main characters, Ed, Tom, Matt, and Tord. I know in the intro I said Tord is an antagonist, but he was really an antagonist in the last 2 really big episodes. He still is considered an antagonist for some of the characters, but just wanted to throw that out there in case you were a big time fan. You're like, no. I'm sorry. The series is still going to this day, and it actually started back in 2004, which is the year I was born, by the way, which is so cool. These adventures range from going to the beach to fighting a giant world-destroying robot, which happens in the end part 1 and part 2. This series is definitely a great watch, but like I said, I will be kind of switching up the story and the character, so this is an AU/redesign. And here's Ed. I hate this one. I'm gonna be so real with you. I hate how Matt looks in this one. That's why I'm so happy with how he came out whenever I actually drew him. I hate this one so much. Ugh. I cannot tell you why. I think it's because of his proportions, but even in the series, he had a really big chin. I cannot tell you why I don't like it, but the whole thing just gotta go. I think it was his hair and the face, but don't worry, I do end up liking his design, so that's great. Now let's get into the AU. This AU takes place after the end part 2 with an alternate ending. Everything before the end part 1 and 2 happens, but when Tord gets shot out of the sky, he suffers a great number of physical and mental injuries, one of them being extreme amnesia. Ed and Matt go to his assumed dead body and wait to see if he's still alive, but when they decide to leave Tord, he slowly starts to wake up and can't seem to remember much of anything. He doesn't remember the events, leaving everyone just as confused as he was. Tom doesn't want to hear him out, but Ed and Matt think since he doesn't remember anything, they can rehabilitate him, make him a good person, or just prevent him from finding out what he did. They eventually help Tord get prosthetics, and he continues to live with them. Tom still holds many grudges against him and is the one who dislikes him the longest. Ed is the second longest, and Matt is the shortest. Tord still acts like his old self, secretive, harsh, and a bit selfish, but to a smaller degree. Now they all live together trying to rehabilitate him and trying to mend their group's friendship. And that's it. I put a lot of brain and effort into that. I sound so sarcastic, but I really did. And here's Tom. He was definitely one of my favorites to design because I loved Tom so much. I see a bit of myself in him, and oh my god, I love his character so much. So do note that for Tom, even though he is his own character, a lot about him is influenced by me. I love him so much. But like I was saying, I would go into the characters now, but I do want to go into the characters while I'm actually drawing them. So I'm just going to let these last few headshots play through before I start going over the actual characters. before I actually get into Ed, do note that the reason his skin color changes is because I did want to draw him really pale at first, but I messed up and used the wrong marker, so I tried to fix it and he ended up looking that tan. I don't have a problem with it. I just wish I executed it better. That's all I have to say about that. Let's get into the character. Ed is known for being careless and carefree in his day-to-day life. He hardly ever thinks about the consequences of his actions, whether they are good or bad. Due to that, his clothes are often torn and his body is covered in bandages. In this AU, however, he is a little more mindful of his friends. He is still self-centered to some degree, but ever since taking in Tord and rehabilitating him, he has grown less selfish. As carefree as he is, he tends to help mend broken things. He is known for being an artist, and part of his artistic creativity involves DIY. He made Tom some patch shorts, which you will see in Tom's design in the next video. And for his artist side, he often draws himself, Ringo, and Matt. He still loves Cola, so don't worry. And in this series, they mentioned him liking art, but I wanted to bring that out a little more in my AU, and the cheesiest way I did it was adding paint splotches on his pants. And the hoodie he's wearing, he did DIY himself. That's why the stitches on it are very bulky. For each character, after I give a general gist of how their personality is changed, there is also a few little facts and things I want to mention that I altered about their characters. So for Ed, out of the friend group, his favorite is himself. Why wouldn't it be himself? And his least favorite is Tom due to his isolating tendencies. Now, even though this isn't Tom, I want to mention that the reason why Tom has grown to isolate himself more often is because of Tord. After everything they've been through, he does not see himself being around Tord that much. He doesn't like it, so he'll usually be in his room by himself over than hanging out with him. But he does end up growing out of that thanks to his friends. Woohoo! Friendship is magic. Shout out MLP. I can't take myself seriously. Wait. Sorry for laughing. Let's get back serious. So I did keep his brown hair and green hoodie, even though the hoodie is two different colors of green and his brown hair is a little more fluffier than it was in the series. I still kept those the same. I feel like that's very iconic about the characters, their colors. So even though I did redesign the characters, their colors are still pretty much the same. I might have added a different color or a different shade of the color, but still the same thing. I was supposed to make his hoodie cut up, but I never did it, so that's my bad. I gave him for pants a baggy fake khaki. I feel like that kind of tannish brown would go great with his skin and the green hoodie, so that's why I made that change. He also has painted shoes. I might show up an inspiration for his shoes on the screen, but I didn't draw them. Some other things I wanted to mention was that he is 5'4", making him the shortest out of the group. He's 23, he uses he/him pronouns, and he's straight/arrow ace. Him being arrow ace is actually canon. If you've seen any of the Pride artwork that eddsworld made during Pride Month, it shows him wearing an arrow ace flag, so I felt like I had to incorporate that. So I did it, which is cool. Him and Tom's sexuality are canon, but Matt, I kind of changed, and Tord, I just came up with whatever. I didn't really put much thought into his, so I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just do this. So yeah, that's it. Now, let's get into Matt. Matt is known for being extremely self-centered, a bit selfish, and very picky about his looks. In this AU, he didn't change much personality-wise, besides being a little more mindful and like a brother-type role for Tord. He and Tord share the same room, so Matt is always around to either comfort him or help him out. Matt and Ed are always getting into trouble since they are both carefree and don't think before they do. However, in this AU, his fashion sense has a little more backstory. Before he accidentally erased his memory, he was going to go to college for fashion design. Unfortunately, he didn't go because he forgot, and the others didn't remind him because he never told them. But he still loves fashion, especially 90s and early 2000s fashion trends. He often styles Tord's outfit and tries to give Tom fashion tips. He is still very self-conscious about his looks, so he tries to wear makeup to hide any imperfection. He also is often the muse in Ed's paintings since he loves being the center of attention. So even though Matt doesn't have a least favorite, he does lean more towards Ed and Tord since they do hang out a lot. He doesn't consider Tom his least favorite, but since Tom is always self-isolating himself, he never really gets a chance to hang out with him, so he never really thinks about engaging in, maybe one-on-one time with him. But he still does really like Tom. Also, I did add a couple new things to him. I made him more stylish because he would have been a fashion designer. He would have been into all types of fashion trends. I did keep the green blazer and the ginger hair. I put a little hair clip in his hair just to kind of break up the bright orange. And with his blazer, I made it a short sleeve blazer with really long tails, if that's what you call it, at the end. I thought that was a really nice touch. He does have a mullet. It's a lot fluffier than his mullet in the series, which I think he has a mullet. I'm not too sure. Don't check me on that. He has beauty marks on his face and all over his body, but he tries his best to cover them up with makeup, but he eventually gets to a point where he kind of likes them. He is very tall and slender. He is 6 foot. He is the tallest one out the bunch. He's huge. I did draw him wearing bell bottoms. You can't tell though. I'm so mad. I think he would look so good in like bell bottoms and flared jeans. I feel like he would love those pants and he would look so cool in them. I did make him a little more tan than he was in the series, but not as tan since he wears like sunscreen and stuff and takes care of his skin. I also want to add that I feel like he would definitely be kind of like, not a parent, but like definitely older brother vibes, always making sure they're taking care of themselves and stuff, hygiene wise, clothing wise, just making sure they're okay. And he'll also like buy them gifts for like skincare and stuff since he takes care of himself a lot like that, and he kind of wants to do the same, so he's always keeping an eye out for facial stuff that they might like or clothes they might like. I feel like he definitely would do that. That would be so sweet. Also, his eyes are gray as a side effect of the memory rate. I think that'll be really cool since the rest of his color palette is really bright colors. I feel like the gray would just be like kind of neutral and it wouldn't really mess up anything else in the picture. Let's be real. I feel like bright blue eyes would be so scary on him. Also, like I said, he's the tallest one out the bunch, being 6 foot. He's 25, so definitely leaning into older brother vibes in my AU. He uses he, she pronouns, and he's pansexual. That is all I have to say for these characters. I'll still have, the video playing in the background to show you the finished product, as well as me adding, highlights at the end and maybe a little bit of line art. I do want to apologize for like all the stuttering and the messing over my words I'm doing. I'm not used to talking this much. Like, I do talk a lot, but in this format, not really. I am getting a little better at it, so thank you for still watching my content. And we've hit 25 subscribers, you guys. We hit 25 subscribers. Like, I am so thankful. I know it's not that big of a goal, but the fact that there's people really sitting here watching me and enjoying the content I make, it makes my eyes water. I know I am super excited and I'm super thankful for all the new subscribers, and I hope that you guys like this video. I won't be talking until the end since I've pretty much gone over the characters, and there's not much I really need to say about them since it's just them two for this video. Like I said, there will be a part 2 with Tom and Tord, so keep an eye out for that. It might come in a week after this one. It just depends on when I get the chance to voice over and edit the video and stuff and actually finish the art. But besides that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see y'all at the end. We are now reaching the final minute of this video, so I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy it. If you do like the characters, let me know which one is your favorite character from the series, or which out of the two is your favorite redesign that I did. Thanks again for all the support. I love each and every one of you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!